Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I am Uzma Jaffrey. Here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Friday, the 6th of October. India-European Union inked 3 pacts to enhance bilateral ties. Pakistan's foreign minister warns India against surgical strikes on its soil. And now for all the details. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi met European Council President and European Commission President in New Delhi on Friday. The leaders held talks on a range of issues including trade and security. They also witnessed inking of 3 pacts to boost ties.
India and the European Union on Friday agreed to strengthen ties in key areas of trade and security. European Council President Donald Tusk and European Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker talked about the much-delayed trade pact between the two sides while holding talks with Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi in New Delhi. The two sides inked 3 pacts, including one on International Solar Alliance. The leaders held a joint conference where they deliberated extensively on bilateral, regional and international issues during talks.
That we have agreed to develop our dynamic trade and investment relations, and that we have agreed to step up cooperation on global and regional issues.
आतंकवाद के खिलाफ मिलकर काम करने और इस विषय पर अपने सुरक्षा सहयोगों को बढ़ाने पर हम दोनों सहमत हैं। इस विषय पर हम न सिर्फ द्विपक्षीय स्तर पर अपना सहयोग मजबूत करेंगे, बल्कि वैश्विक मंच पर भी अपना सहयोग और समन्वय बढ़ाएंगे।
Earlier in the day, the EU leaders also held talks with Indian Foreign Minister Sushma Swaraj. The 28-nation bloc is India's largest regional trading partner, with bilateral trade in goods at $88 billion in 2016. It is also the largest destination for Indian exports and a key source of investment and technologies.
Meanwhile, Bangladesh's Foreign Secretary Shahidul Haq on Friday said the Rohingya crisis can only be solved by Myanmar. Clearing his country's stand on the issue, he said Bangladesh wants the refugees to return to Myanmar.
Bangladesh's Foreign Secretary Shahidul Haq on Friday said that his country is willing to help the Myanmar government but also wants Rohingya refugees in Bangladesh to return. The Foreign Secretary made the remarks while clearing Bangladesh's stand on Rohingya issue during a news conference in India's national capital, New Delhi. Haq, who was in India to attend the ongoing India Economic Summit, said that the problem has been created in Myanmar and solution has to be found in Myanmar.
Our position is very clear that the problem has been created in Myanmar and solution has to be found in Myanmar. We can certainly help Myanmar government in solving this problem, but the solution cannot be their stay in Bangladesh. Bangladesh wants that they should go back as soon as possible.
He further said that Myanmar has shown initial interest to take back their own residents and modalities are being worked out. Myanmar had made a proposal to Bangladesh on October 2 to take back thousands of Rohingya Muslims who had fled violence in the country. During talks between a minister of Myanmar State Councillor Office and Bangladesh Foreign Minister A.H. Mahmood Ali in Dhaka, both the sides agreed to form a joint working group for repatriation of Rohingya refugees.
Moving on, death toll rose to 22 in a suicide blast at a shrine in southwestern Balochistan on Thursday. The suicide bombing is said to be the latest sectarian attack in the province.
A suicide bombing at a shrine in southwestern Balochistan's Jal Maqsid district killed over 20 people and wounded 30 on Thursday. A police officer apprehended the bomber at the entrance to the Sufi shrine and was among those killed, reports suggest. The shrine was packed with devotees mourning the death of a local spiritual leader when the bomb struck. Balochistan's Interior Minister Sarfaraz Bugti said that seriously injured patients from the blast were being airlifted to Sindh in the absence of adequate medical facilities in the region. Islamic State has claimed responsibility for the attack. The bomb attack is said to be the latest sectarian attack in the region. Last year, a suicide bomber killed 52 people and wounded over 100 at a Balochistan Sufi shrine.
In news from Pakistan, Pakistan's Foreign Minister Khwaja Asif has warned India against targeting Islamabad's nuclear installations. He said that if India ever launched a surgical strike on his country's nuclear installations, restraint from Islamabad should not be expected either.
Pakistan's Foreign Minister Khwaja Asif said on Thursday that if India launched a surgical strike on the country's nuclear installations, nobody should expect restraint from Pakistan either. Asif made the remarks while addressing a talk at the US Institute of Peace in Washington. His comments came after the Indian Air Force Chief B.S. Dhanoa on Thursday said that if India needed to carry out a surgical strike, their force was capable of locating and striking nuclear and other targets in Pakistan.
The Indian Air Chief yesterday said that we'll hit through another surgical strike Pakistan nuclear installations. If that happens, nobody should expect restraint from us. That's the most diplomatic language I can use.
Asif, who is on an official visit to Washington, also said the US should not treat his country as a whipping boy for its lost war in Afghanistan. His visit to the US comes as Pakistan is trying to mend its relations with the country. US President had in August, in his new war strategy in Afghanistan and South Asia, singled out Pakistan for not doing enough to tackle militancy in the region.
British Royal Air Force's aerobatic team and the Pakistan Air Force presented an air show marking 70 years of their friendship on Thursday. The dazzling air show attracted crowds of spectators and enthusiasts in Pakistan's Karachi city.
British Royal Air Force's aerobatic team, commonly known as the Red Arrows, performed a dazzling air show in Pakistan's Karachi city on Thursday. The event was organized to mark the 70 years of friendship between the United Kingdom and Pakistan. Besides Red Arrows, Pakistan's JF-17 Thunder fighter aircraft displayed breathtaking maneuvers, attracting crowds of spectators and enthusiasts.
बहुत अच्छा लगा मुझे देख के और बहुत मज़ा आया फैमिली के साथ बच्चों के लिए बहुत ज़्यादा इंस्पिरेशन है मोटिवेशन है कि हमारी एयर फोर्सेस कैसी हैं और दूसरी कंट्रीज़ के साथ हमारी फ्रेंडशिप है ताल्लुकात अच्छे हैं.
The Red Arrows is one of the world's premier aerobatic display teams. The Red Arrows first flew in 1965 and has since flown 4,800 missions around the globe.
A senior United Nations official in Afghanistan said that Afghan government's reform agenda deserves recognition. This comes after representatives of the international community and officials held senior officials meeting in capital Kabul.
Tadamichi Yamamoto, the head of the UN Assistance Mission in Afghanistan or UNAMA, on Thursday said the Afghan government's reform agenda deserves recognition. He affirmed UN's commitment to continuously advance efforts in delivering in line with the development aspirations put forward in the Afghanistan National Peace and Development Framework or ANPDF. He made the statement at the two-day senior officials meeting in Kabul that wrapped up on Thursday. Representatives of the international community reaffirmed their long-standing support to Afghanistan's long-term development, peace and stability in the meeting. During the meeting, Chief Executive of Afghanistan Abdullah Abdullah said the National Unity Government is committed to delivering on all commitments made over the past 3 years. He also praised the Afghan security and defense forces and said the efforts of government are stepping towards ending the conflict imposed on the people.
News just in, Nepal's ambassador to India, Deep Kumar Upadhyay, on Friday resigned from the post. Upadhyay submitted his resignation to Deputy Prime Minister Krishna Bahadur Mahara. Upadhyay is set to join politics to contest the upcoming federal parliament elections after the cabinet approves his resignation. Moving on. Humanitarian organizations in Bangladesh have started another aid center for thousands of Rohingyas currently camping in Cox's Bazar. The organizations have set up breastfeeding centers in refugee camps for Rohingya women this time.
Non-governmental organizations have opened another aid center for the thousands of Rohingya Muslims currently camping in Bangladesh's Cox's Bazar area. The aid center in the refugee camp aims to provide the Rohingya women with a safe place to feed their newborns and advise them on breastfeeding. The aid center has been set up under an outpatient therapeutic program or OTP initiated by UNICEF and Concern Worldwide.
Most of the mothers who live in this camp, they are not that much aware about breastfeeding. We know that for up to the 6 months, breastfeeding is crucial. It is very much important to address malnutrition also. So there is a breastfeeding support center here in this OTP center where our psychosocial counselor, they counsel the mother that how she feed her children.
Mothers who are using the center highly value it after their hazardous journey from Myanmar to Bangladesh, during which safe areas to feed their babies were hard to come by. Thousands of Rohingya since August have fled from Myanmar's Rakhine province to avoid military crackdown, which began after Rohingya insurgents attacked security camps in the country.
Well, that's the way it was in South Asia this evening. Before we conclude, the top stories once again. India-European Union inked 3 pacts to enhance bilateral ties. Pakistan's foreign minister warns India against surgical strikes on its soil. Now our viewers can watch the show on southasianewsline.com. You can also visit us on facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time next week. Have a great weekend. Good night.